All right, everybody, we are live again one more Saturday. This is the BGI number 20. Wow, special number 20. I've been here for a while now, and thank you so much for being here with me all these Saturdays, interacting, asking questions, and hanging out and talking Brazilian guitar. So hopefully everything is sounding decent here with sound. I think it is, right? If it's sounding bad, let me know, but I think it does sound good. All right, here we are. I am testing a different angle today, a little bit more leveled here. So let me know also if you like this angle here. I'm enjoying thus far. Cool, so let's get it going. Today, we're gonna take a look at another really fun standard. And that's one that is really fun to play. And let's figure out if this one can groove, can dance in the Brazilian way, that softly as in the morning. What is the name of the whole thing? Let's take a look at the chart. There we go. Softly as a morning sunrise. Hamstring. That's all the things you are, guy, right? That compose that song. Let's take a look at the song. Again, we're gonna do a little discovery in the song, playing the melody as it is and all that, and then we're gonna start sambafying and figuring out path to play this melody really great. And then I'm gonna do a little bit of a harmony overview, some tricks that we can use here, and then I'm gonna do a little run of solo, like improvisation, and then at the end, as usual, I'll give you the fully sambafied version of this thing. Right, so let me know in the comments if you're here, if you're attending this live stream. It's important to know that you guys are here with me. From where you are, tell me what's going on, where you're coming from, and let's get going. So I hope most of you know this standard. Original version, at least the real book version, is in C minor, but I think we're gonna get something else going today as far as keys. But let's start with what we have. Version, and then you have a bridge 2/5. Okay, it seems that I'm getting an echo. Let's take care of that. Peter, my friend, thank you so much for being here. I am getting an echo. Let's fix this, because we shouldn't be having echo. Let me try to change something here, and then you tell me if see if there's any echo going on now, Peter. See if it's better. Let me go back to the main one here. So is there any echo now going on? Let me know. This thing usually has been working for a while. I don't know why it is. This thing is not working properly. Let me see. Yeah, let me see if this is working. I want to get this mic here as well. Usually happens when I put both to record. Let's see. okay here. Let's see if this is coming through. Yeah, this should be coming through. Oh, okay. I think we solved the mystery. Okay, hey Mark, how's it going? No echo on Facebook, but also Peter said, so sorry. I had 2 windows open with your video. Okay. Oh, good. Okay, good to know, my friend, because I was ready to freak out a little bit, because, man, I spent so much time to set up for this mic and this mic, and it's like been giving me so much trouble. And when I think I finally dialed the whole thing in, it's like, whoa, it's an echo going. It's like, oh man, again, I gotta fix this. Okay, so we all good apparently. I think we are all good in the sound. So let's go back to this song. We're going to the bridge. So right? To 5 to C minor, right? So that's the song. Got more people coming in. Hello Joe, thanks for being here, brother. Okay, cool. This part is very basic. Even when you play like a swung jazz version, there is more here, right? To this part. There's a 2/5 missing, there's a bunch of stuff missing, some diminished chords that people use on that bridge. There's a chord here that people usually play, a diminish. I got 2/5 or dominant to C minor. So that's the song. Things that usually people do here on that bridge. Instead of going here to that C7 flat 9, this is the 5 of the F minor, right? The 5 of the 4. People usually put also the 2, 5 to the 4. So G half diminished, right? Just to get a little more beefier progression there. And then there is the F sharp diminish there, like right on that bar there. People use that. And then with the D notice, usually there is a half diminish, D half diminish to G to get us back to where we were. Cool. So that's kind of the idea for the tune. We are going to change the key of this thing to play, to sambafy it. Just because we can, and we should, why not, right? Playing a nice open guitar key. I was messing this morning on A minor, with A minor key. And it seems like a cool key for that. So let's see if this thing is going to fly. Cool, so then we're gonna play A minor. There we go. Then you have a D, a 2/5, right? Up to the 4. That diminished chord there. Right? So that's the A minor kind of version of that. We're gonna tackle the harmony of this thing, in a second stage of our live stream, let's first figure out the whole Sambafying thing, the sambification of this melody. Let's see what we can do with this melody. Hello, Miko. Nice badminton guitar on the wall. Yes, this one right here. Yes, the Black PM 100. I have this guitar for 25 years now. Wow, time flies, man. I was 20 years old when I got that guitar. Great guitar. So let's figure out this whole Sambafying thing. Again, how do we make this melody sing and dance? So again, the same procedure we usually do. The melody is very simple as far as the ways written in the real book, as you can see here. Right? Ba, dee, da, 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 dee, da, dee, da, da, dee, da, dee, da, dee, da, da, dee, da, 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 da. That's kind of swing. I should do for ba, da, ba, dee, da, dee, da, dee, ba, ba, dee, da, dee, da, dee, ba, ba, dee, da, 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 da. Like that's kind of the melody is. How do we make this melody dance, you know, into the Brazilian groove? Again, we are back, we are in A minor, don't forget, so it'll be that's the core of the material there, right? Again, we first need to apply syncopations to this melody so the melody can dance, and one way to do that is using what I call the Brazilian syncopation figure, something I have been talking about this week for quite a bit. Why, Mark? Spent some time on that. Is the 16-8-16 figure. In this case, if you're looking at as a 2-2, like a cut time, there will be a 8/4-8 figure. You sort of populate the melody with this figure, and that will generate a lot of syncopations, which is what we want. Then we proceed with ties between figures, and then you have this super jumpy melody. And then sometimes the melody, it just designed a certain way that this figure won't give you, the melody is going to flow in a different place. A second strategy that you can add to that is 16 notes, like da 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 da. You have to like do a little mix of both in this case here. In 2/2 cut time is a sequence of 8 notes, right? So this melody 1 and 2 and already this melody we should change the rhythm a little bit of where that melody comes in. I will probably play instead of or what we're trying to avoid here is that the sort of downbeat direction of the melody. Things that kind of leads to one to the downbeat. We're gonna avoid that. We're gonna try to make the melody kind of go through the bar, through anticipations and syncopations. Right? The figure here, in a sequence of 16 notes. So this melody, instead of being it's a little square, that will become something like if you do that, the reason we do that is because it just makes it so much easier to play, to groove. Another next stage is to confront the melody, the top layer with the bottom layer, with bass, and see how the whole thing unfolds, how your design is proven right, if the melody dances or not. So right now with the melody as it is, will be originally will be right. If we put all that stuff, will be that there's way more syncopation going on now. The melodies and the bass are not together, right? They're fulfilling different functions here. And the bass is, again, is always fundamental, just always on the downbeat, and then the melody is the one that has the sort of the poetic license to, if you will, to dance around. So I'm already starting with an anticipation, like 1, 2, 1, 2. Right? That helps. 1, 2. And that second part of the melody there, there's different ways we can do it. And there's no right or wrong here. Whatever feels right, whatever feels groovy and snappier, you do it. So there's different ways to play that. So you can go right? You anticipate everything. Right? Or you can take a little bit from the original melody. You make it 16 notes. Like 1, 2. So it's a sequence of 16 notes, then the figure 16, 8, 16. But with a rest on the beginning of the rest. Right? Anticipation all the time, right? And then end with anticipation in a 16-note sequence. The figure again. So seems to be a good strategy here. Right? It will sound like it. Right? Top against bottom. That's how we do that. The bridge. There's a triplet originally on the melody, and again I talked about here quite a bit that the triplet for that kind of thing is not our friend, so we gotta transform that either in the syncopation figure I talk about 6, 8, 16, 16, 8, 16, or 16 notes, right? Or a mix of those. It seems that right now we are using that 16 notes in the 16, 8, 16. So 16 notes, 16, 8, 16. They're figured together with a rest on the beginning of the first figure. Anticipation. We're going to C major, right? That's the bridge, right? Putting that into context. 1 and 2 and right? The sound 1, 2. It's the melody and the bass, right? 1 and 2 and 1, 2. Slow. 1, 2. Right? Sequence of 16 notes with the rest on the first one. 1 and 2 and da, 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 and the 16, the syncopation figure right after. 1, 2, 3, da, 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 again, so same sequence of figures, right? We just cut that little block which has been working on the groove here. 16s, and then the syncopation figure. Always anticipating. So anticipate there, 1 and 2. So you see that there seems to be a figure that works here really well on this song to sambafy, to make it groove. Cool. Then we follow that strategy, the strategy that's been here in these live streams all the time and every day, which is whenever the melody is long and rest, you play with the groove. But right now, let's just put the middle into it. Open strings. Alright? You see that I'm not doing groove or anything, the melody is taking care of all that. 1, 2, 3. Really playing any grooves yet, or if ever, because again, that's what I stress here all the time. When you apply the syncopations, the melody carries enough information on the groove to be on its own. So just the bass just kind of supports the melody, and the middle, aka the chords, they come to aid to either the melody or the bass and just support the melody or the bass there, and then you have the thing pretty much done. 1, 2, 3. Right? And then the second thing and last thing, which is the sort of ice on top, is the melodies at times, and most of the times, will be either idle, like it will stop, there's like a rest on the melody, or you'll be long notes. When that happens, then you bring the groove, whatever you use in samba or bossa nova, whatever style. On this case, there's a little bit of a long note on the end of the phrase. A long part there that you can play the groove. So it's a little moment that you can add a little bit if you want. So it will sound like this. 1, 2, 3. I'm using the shoulder groove, which is made out of that syncopation figure talk about 16, 8, 16, 16, 8, 16, 8, right? 16, 8, 16, then back. So, and again, this comes from playing a sequence of 16 notes, right? 1, 2, 3, 1 and 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, right? And then you connect the figures in the middle. Thus, you have 16, 8, 16. If I play just here to make it easy, just for 16 notes. 1 E and 1 E and 1 E and, right? If I connect these two, then I have the figure. Is replacing the first hit with the bass, just putting that into the groove, making it as a groove will sound like this. The bass takes care of the first 16, and then the rest is the chords. 2. It's one of the most powerful grooves because it's so simple and yet so effective. So when you have those long melodies, like on the ending, when you have like a bar or a couple bars, then it's great to play the full groove. Like when you have just, in the other hand, when you have just a little space here, just a little space. If you don't want to leave that blank, you put that groove in there, and that fills the gap beautifully. Like 1, 2. Full samba groove here then, because I have more space, right? When you don't have my space, much more space, this groove is super handy for that particular function. So I really love it. And then here I have a little more space, right? More space. Lots of space here, and then back, right? So let's try to play that. So you see that here, I'm just not playing the groove. I'm just supporting the melody with chords. Like 1 and 2 and. And it's already grooving. See, the melody takes care of the groove on that case when the melody is active, when the melody is syncopated. You can play and it will sound like you're grooving, but I'm not even playing groove. The melody is playing the groove. And then here we have that little bate. Then you have some time here, right? Then you can play a short groove or try to play a full bar of the samba thing. You have more time to play a full groove, like here, full bar, beautiful. 2 bars actually. Then I can play the full samba groove, the 2 bar cycle. Then back. So here is with the overall overview of the sambification, the sambafying process of the melody. And then you got an idea on what to do there as far as transforming the melody into what it is now, conforming to this groove. So if you guys have any questions, that would be a great time for them. Just leave them here in the chat. If you didn't get any, something here, I'm happy to address those. And shameless plug again, if you want to have a chat about this stuff, about how to do these things, I'm more than happy to join you on a chat on a Zoom call, so I can chat about that. I can help you out with anything you might be wanted to ask a little more deeply, and that is the Brazilian Guitar Talk. If you want to book a call and talk a little bit more about that with me, I'm happy to help you in things that you might want to ask, things that you are curious about, and of course I do have a program that teaches there, but there's no ties to that. You can just set up a call and then we can just chat. I can just look at what you're doing, at your playing, where you are, and give you tips and you know, give you proper instruction, things that you might be wanting to practice or something like that. It's just, you know, it's all free of charge. There's no commitment to join my program or not. You know, just book a call and we can talk, can chat about Brazilian guitar. Cool. So that's Brazilian Guitar Talk. Leave your questions here on the chat if you have any before we go on to the next topic of the live. I'm sipping some coffee here. Finally got a great coffee here. I found a good one. Harmony. Let's dive a little bit into the harmony of this song, because there's a few tricks here we can do that I do some of my own. Already, you know, the voicing and this key, it's great because you can use all these open voices in harmony, so that helps a lot our case, right? Already sounds beautiful, right? First thing that I do here, very, very simple tweaks here on the sequence. This 2-5-1 to minor, right? A minor, B half diminished, E7 flat 9, right? What you can do here sometimes. What I do here quite a bit is on the 2 chord. I mess around a little bit, just slightly to give it a little different taste, a spice. So I usually do also F7-13 here. Right? What it is, this is a substitute dominant. I am implying, instead of a B half diminished, I'm implying a 5 of the 5, like a dominant of the dominant, right? And then I'm using the substitute dominant, substituting this chord, the so-called triton sub. In the jazz circles call this a triton sub, right? So I use that here quite a bit, which is the Água de Beber one. Alright, I use that one. That's the one I use here. The other one is an inversion of the 2 chord, which I heavily use also, which is beautiful. This is a B minor 7 flat 5. So when you invert this chord, and you put the flat 5 on the bass, you have this beauty right here, right? This is beautifully voice leading into the dominant chord. I use this quite a bit, and right now here, open strings is asking you for shouting, screaming to be used, so we do use it, right? Gotta use it, or you can use that too. You can also use the actual dominant of the dominant, you know, with a sharp 9, right? Right? I don't use that much, but sometimes it comes up, right? Most of the time I use this guy here, which is beautiful. In this sequence, there is a chance for you to use to move the bass a little bit, to use a passing chord. You adding the note G in the bass in the context, so you have it's a classic movement of the bass that you should totally do it. Right? path with the bass that I can use, right? But for now, we should just move the bass diatonically, right? That's great to use there. So movement of the bass there, substituting the 2 for the inversion, the flat 5 inversion, or the dominant substitute, tritone sub of B. Things you can use here for the first part. You know, of course, there's always a pedal available, right? The dominant pedal is always there, available. Cool. Then we head into the bridge. So 2-5 to C major. You can do that right away, right? Right? Dominant to the C in any way, shape, or form you want. That so great. So we are here. Then that's the 2-5 to the 4 chord, right? E, F diminished, A7 to D minor. Classic, right? You can also do just the dominant of the D minor if you want, right? And then you're back to D minor. You can do that too. You can also do something cool, which is since you have the space with that C major, you can play the relative minor already also, which is A minor, which is can be the pedal of the next chord. So you can do this. It gets more getting to Brazilian harmony territory, right? Beautiful, huh? Just do the A and then keep the A. So beautiful. In this case, I can just arrive at A minor instead of C major. Why not? Right? Which is cool. I can go, which is very Brazilian vibe, you know. Really cool, isn't it? And then I finally arrive at the D minor. Also, and here's another one. I can also invert that A minor, and then I can do a cool thing on the bass to arrive there. This is what I'm talking about. 2-5 to C, right? That's where we are technically. Right? Cool. How about if I arrive at these C major, but with a third on the bass, which is here, which can also be an A minor. It can be an A minor over the 5th of the A, but then I can get a whole path to get there, and that's a Russell Ferranti thing. The Yellow Jackets, one of my heroes. Ooh, how about that one? So check it out. Here you go. Nice. I like that, right? So G sus, dominant of C, then G7 with the 3rd inversion, that's the 7th on the bass, G over F, right? Then I arrive at either C major over E or A minor over E. Either way, it's the same sound. So then I get this really cool thing, right? Very sappy. I love this kind of stuff. Rosso Ferranti. And then I'm here, right? Then I got a cool thing going on. And then I can actually put the bass on A if I want, right? Or leave the bass on E because I have a half diminished E to play right now. So see, so many options, man. So many options. So I already have the E. Instead of also playing half diminished, I can go straight full E minor 11, Tony Walker vibe, you know. Ooh, beautiful, beautiful stuff, right? So much you can do that just in that little part there, right? You enjoying thus far? Get a couple comments here. Oh, there he is, Vito. Beautiful. You can even continue that pedal through the D minor. Yes, you can, and I will. And I will. Thanks for being here, man. So then you can continue the pedal as Vito was suggesting. If I decide to go here, set first to the D minor, then you've got the diminished, the D sharp diminished, D sharp diminished, or you gotta go back to A minor, right? You can go from here to here. What I like to do sometimes is just glue that path a little bit better, so I can use the diminish symmetry to find something closer to B. In this case would be C diminished. So and then voice leading. And I can even use the like a major 7 thing I'm going on there. Cool, huh? Because the melody's kind of there, you know? Alright, then I'm back. So here we can do a bunch of pedals, right? Sharp diminish or A diminish, which keeps the pattern A, right? Cool, see? More possibilities. And then from the A you can go to B or just go to A. Another thing you can do there is put a G pedal on the thing. That's a cool one too. So let me go here. So, or from here, go here. So G is also a cool note to use as a pedal throughout most of it. See, it just works like first the dominant into the C. You can just do G sus or whatever. C major over G or A minor over G, whatever you wanna call this. C major, I'll call this over G. This works, right? Stays in G. G diminished in this case if you want. D minor over G becomes a sus. and then I can go, or if I want to honor that diminished chord, if I want to honor that progression here in that particular pedal scheme here, I can go half step down to diminish, and I can also be close, and then from there I can go to F, like that. Beautiful, beautiful chromatic movement there, and then we're back to that place. So that's a lot you can do there harmonically in this tune. You liked it? So if you like it, comment here. If you have questions, let me know here. Hello, wonderful subscribe. Thank you, Mr. Lou. Thank you so much for being here with us. So does anyone have any questions about that part? Because there was a packed harmonic investigation there, so we found a bunch of cool stuff. I like the more Brazilian version, you know. It's really cool. I like that one too. All kinds of possibilities to play the bass, to move the bass, but overall, the grand scheme of things, that's what you can do. I mean, for right now, there's more, but just using what the tune is giving you already, you just kind of tweak things a little bit and make it a little more lyrical, a little sweet, or pedally, or more tense, depends. You have options there. Cool. Now let's move into the sort of solo segment. Okay, let's improvise on this thing. So I am going to do a little run over that, and then we're gonna stop and comment a little bit what I did, right? Okay, I played a run of this chorus there, so I'm gonna solo over that. Let's see what I can come up with. I'll play the melody along first time, and then do a couple choruses, and then we're gonna stop and comment. Hopefully my computer is not gonna break on me, hopefully. So let's see, and rolling. my thing broke down, man. I was right at the end of the chorus. I knew my computer was gonna give up on me. I gotta try it again now. Give me one more chance, because I was right there at the end and my computer gave up. Let me try one more time. We got a good idea, right? So let's try one more time. Oh man, I was into something on the first time I did, on the first chorus. Ah, god damn it. The computer died on me, right? There was a finishing the thing. I had a good thing going on there. But let's just quickly comment here on a few things, right? The first part of the first and second chorus, I kind of really stayed on a really pentatonic blue note type of vibe. Just kind of stay in that language. Just kind of play that, right? Then I already had designed that pedal thing I was showing you. I put that in the first bridge, like I put that in there. So I kind of relaxed a little bit more there. I also went to the 2/5 of C major. I did play over that, even if I was on a pedal here. Right? So I was kind of keeping that 2/5 thing going, and then here I was thinking of C major. Because for me it was a C major and then the pedal, right? This I was kind of playing over the diminished G, right? Or thinking of an A7 flat 9 chord, right? I was thinking of that too, but it works with the pedal. And then I got another thinking of D minor here. I did play a little bit of pentatonic. C major pentatonic or A minor pentatonic here too, or mostly, you know, D minor. was thinking of that F sharp here, and then 2-5, right, back to that. When I come back, I did a little dominant pedal here. So the first time I did back on Pretty Broke, I had a little suspension thing, so I wanted to put a little more tension. I was phrasing over A minor, but just playing something repeatedly to create the tension. Just some kind of more tricky 10 stuff over that pedal. And then back. I was using a lot of the diminished symmetry also on that 2-5, like over that 2-5, just kind of playing over the diminished symmetry there. So there's mostly what I did. You know, I did a few things. I did a little, just a little chromatic thing, just a little outside thing, just something like that. Just a half step a couple times to get to whatever I was. I did that too. Let's see a question. Victor has a question. Do you use a particular fretboard visualization method? Good question. When you visualize those scale changes, target notes, arpeggios, etc., do they all just kind of blend in together? Great question. Great question, Victor. At this point, I don't really visualize anything. I'm not thinking of anything. I'm just trying to talk, right? I'm just hearing things. And I try to connect ideas. I am sort of in a layer above the chord scale thing. I know where they are, so I don't need to visualize them. So I can play with my eyes closed because I know where things are on the instrument. That's a stage that people have to overcome, right? They have to know their instrument, where the notes are. Locate yourself. That's a thing that we all grind, we all have to practice. If I am playing on C major, right? I know what these notes are. So if I'm playing a chord here, like that pedal part, I know the harmony, I know the movement that's going on there, right? Right? It's a 2-5 to D minor. So I know how to properly address those chords, but yet at the same time I had a pedal here. So my approach was a bit different. So I had to acknowledge that diminished thing, but in the end of the day, it's still kind of an A7 flat 9 for me, you know? So I was kind of going that route, knowing that I can also be a G diminished, but that's the same sound. So I was just basically ready to acknowledge these changes, right? So I was playing them, and then this next thing. Then that chord comes in. So it's just basically, I am trying to create a melody, but I am aware of what the chords, the movement, the sort of the journey of these chords. I'm aware of what's going on, and I need to respond accordingly, you know, to what this harmony is developing into in my melody. So if I play, let's say, on that beginning, I know that that note has to be there because of the chord and this or whatever, right? But I don't thinking about the scale or anything. I'm just glancing through. I'm just playing, just walking around this. Right? Because I am used to hear the changes, and I also know where the notes are on the instrument. So it's that stage is already sort of dormant, that I don't think about it. I just think of the ideas that I have right at the moment. And that's a stage everybody wants to get when you are comfortable enough with the guitar and where things are on the instrument, what you have to do in particular sequences and progressions, and then you go out there and try to play an idea and develop the idea, right? And then there's phrasing, there's all this other stuff involved on the upper layer, right? That you don't have to think about that. Then you think of music, phrasing, right? The inflections, you know, being melodic versus being more tense, or, you know, whatever the music is asking for. Then you kind of like operating in that layer, and that's kind of usually where I am, since I'm pretty comfortable with some of these chords and the path that they give me. So I just try to walk whatever path I want, and then if the chords change, my melody adjusts to it, right? So that's a long answer, but I hope I answered to you. I'll try to do another run and see if I can come up with anything, but I'll try to just think about these things I talk about, that I'm just thinking of the path and not really thinking much about which scale to use or how the thing comes together. I'm also hearing notes that are common to the chords. I can anticipate them, like I know that note stays, that note connects with the chord. Right? And here I have to adjust. So I hear the sounds of the notes like in relation to whatever chord I'm going to. And I try to take advantage of that. If the note stays as part of the next chord, then I can embellish around that, right? And I have to adjust that change, but the E just kind of stayed there for a while. So, cool. Let's see if I can do another one and not get let down by my computer. Let's see. Okay, that's already okay. Hopefully I don't get an error this time again. Something like that, right? So the computer doesn't break from here, which is great. Play a little bit of similar things like I was talking about. So that is the improvisation part, the tricks, the sounds, the things you can use in this song. Especially if you change the harmony a little bit, you kind of open up a bunch of other things to do. And now, we're gonna get to the end of our live session. Thank you so much for being here with me. If you have any other questions, please leave them here in the chat. And then I'm gonna play. Now is the last moment of the live stream, and I'm gonna play the fully Sambafied solo guitar version of the thing, kind of tying with the beginning, the melodies, the things we talked about. So again, if you would like to chat with me about these things, you have questions about the stuff I talked about, this Sambafying thing, all this, I'm happy to hop on a call with you. It's free. There's no ties to anything. I do have a program that teaches all that, but you're not tied to any of that. It's just a regular chat and call, and you can ask questions. It's totally free. I really want to help you in whatever you need, questions you might have, strategies and things you have been struggling with. If you want to do that, I'm more than happy to do so. We can book a call here at BrazilianGuitarTalk.com, and I'm happy to help you out with whatever you need. So thank you so much for being here on this live stream again, and I'll see you in the next one. And right now, let's play Softly as a Morning Sunrise, fully Sambafied in A minor, right? We changed the key right away. So see what I can come up with, and then I'll say bye for now. But thank you for being here. Let me see if anything good comes out of this. Beginning. Let me try to do something better. That's a great thing about doing live, because you just mess up and make mistakes live. So let me try to do a better one, like this and one, more this and one. All right, that's what I could come up with. A bunch of mistakes here and there, but that's what is great about doing it live. You just see me messing up, right? So thank you so much for being here on our live stream. Again, if you want to chat with me, if you want to chat about Brazilian guitar, I'm happy to help you in any way I can. You know, I can show you all these tricks, all these things in detail. You can have a call with me at Brazilian Guitar Talk. And again, it's free. There's no commitments. I do have a program, of course, to teach you deep all that, but you're not tied to join. Just want to have a call. Just, you know, I'm just happy to chat and talk to you and see where you are and see what you need. All right, so thank you so much for being here with me today, and I will see you on the next one. Have a great weekend, everyone. Bye-bye.